Just as I was thinking about what I'm going to talk in today's video, a concept or something that I've learned personally in my own life occurred to me, and I instantly decided to make a video on it, and the concept is just about emotional control. So, before I talk about what emotional control is, I want you to understand the problems that come with not having emotional control. So let's take two men for example. Mr. Wimperson. Mr. Wimperson, as usual, doesn't know what emotional control is. He lacks the understanding of the importance of emotions. He doesn't know how to process these emotions in the correct way. So what happens is that he lacks control over his emotions. Then his emotions are controlled by the outer world. So the outer world exploits his emotions, exploits himself using his emotions, and then they benefit from it. Whereas Mr. Wimperson is constantly suffering from emotional problems. But Mr. G-Mob, the man, he wasn't always, struggling with emotional control. There was a period in the G-Mob's life too where he was also struggling with emotional control. But he slowly uptook the path of understanding what are emotions, how to process them. He understood how the human mind works. He understood how to process these emotions. So whenever he faces or feels an emotion in himself, he can use that emotion positively for his personal and public positivity. He can use the emotion positively for himself or for the welfare of others too. So, my name is Kanishram for those of you who don't know me, and I help young men have a better life by teaching them what I already learned in my life. So, what do I understand about emotional control? First of all, I'll tell you what are emotions. From my based on my understanding, I'll tell you what emotions are. Emotions are simply feedbacks. Right? Emotions are simply feedbacks. But feedbacks from who and on what? Emotions are feedbacks from your own mind, from your own subconscious. So your subconscious is literally giving you feedback on your own life. Alright? Because that's how I believe the emotional system of a man works. It could be different psychologically, but that's just how I believe it to be, and that's made a greater impact on my life. So emotions are feedbacks on your life situations. So certain things make you angry, certain things make you discontent, certain things make you happy, certain moments make you sad. And whenever you feel these emotions, everyone feels emotions, right? But the difference comes from how you use these emotions. How you use these emotions for the benefit of yourself, or do you use these emotions for the destruction of yourself? Because emotions are great forms of energy. In fact, I believe the human life is very emotional. Having no emotions is a lie, because you can't have no emotions. If you have no emotions, you are just a stone. A stone has no emotions, literally. And controlling your emotions is also a lie, because see, emotions are waves of energy. So when you it's like, water in a dam. You can't constantly control the water. You have to let those water out a few ways, right? So these types of energy, these emotions, each emotion has different types of energy. Each emotions mean different things. Not all emotions mean the same thing, and not all emotions can be used in the same way. For example, my strongest emotions that I use for my welfare, like my good emotions, are anger and discontentment. That's my strongest emotions. That's what makes me go ahead, and that's what makes me progress a lot further. Well, not all emotions are bad and not all emotions are good. For me, anger and discontentment are great emotions for me to go forward in life. But for someone else, the same anger and same discontentment might be the cause for his destruction. So it's about how I channel my anger. What is my anger towards? I'm angry about the world. About how the world treated me, about how the world treats other people, about how the world behaves with children, about how the world is. I'm angry on the world. Alright? Most men get angry on the world and they show their anger on themselves. But I chose to express this anger in a good way. I chose to teach men how to have a better life. I chose to help people. I chose to be passionate. I chose to be compassionate. I chose to be kind. So that's how I use the energy. So emotions are very good. Okay? So when you feel whatever the emotion may be, when you feel that emotion, there's this amount of energy that you feel. An energy can be used. Let's just forget about what the emotion is. It can be happiness, it can be sadness, it can be anger, it can be whatever it might be, whatever emotion you can name of. Let's just let go of the names and let's just see them as energy. Happiness is energy. I'm happy that I like this moment, so I'm going to use this happy energy or the energy of happiness to create more moments like this in the future. Sadness is also a form of energy. So this energy, this sadness energy, it's making this moment of sadness about my life is making me sad. I don't like this. So I'm going to use this energy of sadness to avoid more moments like this. So the next thing, anger. Anger, some moments make you angry, and certainly problems are the things that make you angry, not moments. So problems make you angry, so I'm going to use the emotion or the energy of the emotion of anger, and I'm going to cure and fix that problem. Alright? So that's this thing, an incident that happened in my life. When I first tried to solve a Rubik's Cube, I failed miserably. Alright? Then I was very angry that I couldn't do it. Just happened. I was very angry that I couldn't do it. So I took that Rubik's Cube, took my brother's phone, went inside the room, sat there for 2 hours, learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube, learned to fix that problem in my life. So that's how I use anger productively. Certain emotions, certain bad emotions like jealousy, rage, well, these emotions must be used in the form of sublimation for your own good. People say about your dark side, your bad side. Everyone has a dark side, everyone has a bad side, but it's about how you use that bad side for yourself. For me, everything is on my team. Depression is on my team, anxiety is on my team, sadness is on my team, happiness is on my team, anger is on my team, rage is on my team. Whatever emotions I feel, they are inside my mind, which means that they are under my control. That's how I view my emotions as. So if you want to have a peaceful life, in fact, peacefulness is not an emotion. Peacefulness and depression are not emotions. They are simply 2 states of life. Well, that's a good idea. I'll talk about peace and depression in the upcoming videos. Let's just keep it simple here, okay? Peace and depression are just states of life, not emotions. So, I use all my emotions to use them productively and have a peaceful life. When I misuse my emotions or when I don't control and channel my emotions in the correct way, it brings depression. As I said earlier, emotions are like water in a dam. If I'm constantly holding them in, trying to control it, eventually the dam is going to get broken. Then water is going to overflow. It's going to destroy cities. It's going to destroy towns, floods, trees, animals. So it's going to hurt others. So it's much more about how I let those emotions out. If you want to understand more about emotional channeling, I suggest that you go out there and learn from people who are more experienced, from people who I learned from. People like Jordan Peterson and some yogic scriptures. So you can go out there and learn about emotional channeling. I channel my emotions in a very certain way. So I channel these certain emotions, certain ways. I use different techniques. And how do I get aware of my emotions? Simply, I just meditate a lot. I meditate almost every day. Certain days I miss. Yes. So I try to be as aware as possible so that the man who's aware of his emotions can process his emotions very great, and he can express that emotion to other people very great. So if I'm angry, alright, everybody expresses emotion. That's the great point. Everyone expresses emotion, but only a few people express it in a great way. So emotional control and emotional channeling will only allow you to express your emotions in a good way, which will help you to have a better life. So learn more about emotional control and emotional channeling. You have a dark side. You can use the dark side for your own benefit. You can have everybody in your mind on your team, because if your mind is not in your control, then it literally means that it's literally in the control of everybody else. Every emotion in your life has been in the control of your own mind. It's been inside your mind, which means if you just take control over your mind, you can have control over your life. So, after you finish watching this video, don't go there and watch more shorts and motivational shorts. Instead, understand about emotional channeling more. Learn from yogic scriptures, yogic books. ChatGPT helps in this. For the first times I've ever used ChatGPT, or the times where ChatGPT has helped me, it's about understanding emotional processing. So go out there, ask ChatGPT, how did the ancient yogis process and channel their emotions? And you can, in the certain time periods in today's world, people like Jordan Peterson, and then the neuroscientist, I think his name's I'm not very sure with his name, but I really don't know his name. I forgot. So there's a neuroscientist. He talks about he has podcasts. He does all those things. I'll just edit his picture in the video, alright? So just go visit his channel. That's my sister. Don't worry about that. And then, learn more about Stoicism, because Stoicism also teaches you how to control emotions. So if you're able to control your emotions, you can control your life, because emotions are a great motivator for people. Emotions are great forms of energy which you can use to improve and change your life. So go out there, be the best version of yourself, and understand about emotional processing, and use those emotions for the welfare of yourself and for the welfare of others.